Now, I told you at the start of the season that this year we were going to be prioritising the league title instead of the cups. And we've just been knocked out of the Vase. No pressure. Welcome back to Up the Commoners, and a lot has happened since you were last here for that 3-3 draw against Biggleswade United. Our next game was against Leverstock Green, away from home, and we got a 1-1 draw there. We then had Aylesbury Vale at our place in the second qualifying round of the Vase, and we beat them 3-1, goals from Ema, Smythe and Luero, putting us in the hat for the next round. We then went and visited one of the new teams in the league, Brookhouse, and got a good 1-0 win away there. Liam Smythe with a goal to seal victory in the 57th minute. Shalfont St Peter, another new team in the league, visited our place next, and we beat them 1-0 with a goal from Clarence Ema. We then had a home draw against Winslow, a 0-0 there, before going away to Oxy Jets. Sam Berwick and Liam Smythe getting on the score sheet to confirm a 2-0 win. And as I alluded to in the intro, we have been knocked out of the FA Vase much earlier than we were last season in the first round against AFC Welling, who you're going to see again in this episode as we're going to be playing them after a game against Kings Langley. So that run of results puts us third in the table. Pretty good. We've still only lost one game in the league. We're on 22 points, 2 behind Dunstable, who have played the same amount of games as us. And then in second place, you have our first opponents of today's episode, Kings Langley, who have a game in hand. But looking at the maths, if we can beat Kings Langley today, then we will temporarily at least go top of the table until they play that game in hand. So we're in a really strong position. The second game is going to be against AFC Welling, who started the season really well, have kind of dropped off, but they are only a few points off of those playoff places. So that could be an interesting game, especially as I feel like we owe them after that FA Vase defeat. And just as I hit record, we've been offered a job interview at Braintree Town, and they are in the Enterprise South, so they are in Step 2, 3 divisions above us. But this is Up the Commoners. This isn't about me and my career. We're trying to build Biggleswade United, so I think we're going to politely decline that one. And interest in Biggleswade United players is still fairly high. We're still getting quite a high number of offers coming in for key members of the squad, and you can kind of see why. Clarence Ema, we said he's having a great start to the season. In 11 appearances, he's got a 7.4 rating. That puts him joint 5th in the league for highest average rating. Other players that feature on that list, Liam Smythe is up there with a 7.9, Kenton Buchanan 7.10, Liam Banks 7.09, Newman Carney 7.05. So both our centre-backs, both our strikers, one of our starting centre midfielders. You can see that the core of the team is having a really strong start to the season. In terms of other players on this list, we might have to keep an eye out on Jet Murphy, who is currently in 9th, having a good season, the 18-year-old striker, and he is playing for Kings Langley today. Ema also features fairly highly on the leading goal scorers list. He's got 6 in 11, and I mean, he's nowhere near Sonny Albert from Leverstock Green, who's currently got 12 in 11, or even Peter Smith from Cockfosters, 17-year-old with 10 in 9. So we're going to have to keep an eye on those as they go on. But there's also another Kings Langley player on there, Sam Park. We'll keep an eye out for him today, the right winger. He has got 7 in 10, so very impressive from the right wing. And Micah Smith from AFC Welling, our second opponents in today's video, and he also scored against us to knock us out of the FA Vase. So I just noticed in the build-up to the Kings Langley game, they have played their game in hand now. It was a midweek game on Tuesday against Colney Heath. They went away and they won 3-1. 2 goals from Jet Murphy, who I think is going to be a real handful for us today. That puts them back on top of the table. We've all played 11 games now. They are now 3 points ahead of us, but on the same amount of games. So if we win today, we won't go top unless it's a big win, looking at the goal difference, but we will go joint top and go above Dunstable, depending on how they get on. So this could really open it up, and I think that if we are going to go and win the league, these are the type of games that we have to win. We absolutely have to be winning these types of games, and they're the type of games that last season we didn't, mainly because we were focusing on trying to get as far as we can in the Vase. So that's out of the way. We've got no distractions now. So your Biggleswade United team to go out and play against Kings Langley. We're going to stick with Hopkins in goal. We've got a back four of Berwick, Carney, Buchanan and Scott. Buchanan having a superb season in his debut season in senior football at centre-back. Really partnering Carney really, really well. Berwick at right-back. Spent a little bit of time out of the team. Featured a lot at right wing last season, but he's really starting to make that right back role his own. We kind of gave him a few minutes here and there, and he really impressed us. And as Tarpey started to fall off, Berwick kind of nailed down that position as his own. So that's your back four. Finney and Banks are going to continue in the midfield, but we do have a new signing to introduce you to, and that is Finlay Brennan, a left-footed, and that's the important part for me here. A left-footed winger, a little bit of pace, good determination. He can dribble, he can cross. So he is going to come straight into this side, and it's going to be Owusu who misses out. But we are going to move Luero over to that right-hand side. We've been struggling with wingers this season. We can't really seem to find a combination that works. That's why we went out and we got Finlay Brennan. So we've got Luero, who's right-footed now, playing more naturally out on the right-hand side. We've got Brennan, who's come in on the left wing, and then we'll have Ema and Smythe up top, and I think we're going to bring Owusu onto the bench for Molyneux to give us Gardner Smith, Whittle, Tarpey, Owusu and Shields as your subs. So it looks to me like today's visitors are going to be lining up in a similar formation to us, a 4-2-4. And I think it's going to be the right winger Park and the striker, the number 9 and the number 11, that are going to be causing us the most problems based on that little bit of research we did looking at the stats and how the season's gone so far. But it's a massive game. This is a massive game. It's still early in the season, only 11 games played. But as I said before, these are the type of games that we simply have to win to give ourselves a chance of winning this title this season. So you can see from the formation graphics early doors, they're playing with 2 holding midfielders. We're playing with 2 slightly more advanced central midfielders. So I'm hoping that our 2 can pin back their 2, and maybe we can get a little bit of joy and start playing higher up the pitch. There's Finney out to Luero, ball into the box, and Clarence Ema with a simple finish. He has been absolutely on fire this season. He is outscoring everybody, including Liam Smythe, and that's number 10 for him so far this season, I believe. He really is having a great season. He just seems to be finding himself in little pockets of space like this all the time, and the strategy has stayed the same since last season. We get it out wide and we get the ball into the box with a bit of quality and try and find those 2 strikers, and it just seems to be working for us. Kings Langley with a spell of possession. The ball goes forward to Danger Man. Jet Murphy pulls across the box. And Berwick very calmly there just controls it inside his own 6-yard box. No one around him, to be fair. And I thought he was going to start a counter-attack there. Smythe has given the ball away. Tomlinson advances down the left. Pulls it back for Frey. And we clear the ball. Bit of a dubious challenge there by Newman Carney. Heart and mouth moments there. But it looks like we're going to mount our attack in. And there's a ball from Smythe. Luero finds Ema, and Ema finds the net for the second time in this opening 10 minutes. Two massive goals. This second maybe slightly came against a run of play. It looked like Kings Langley had responded well to going 1 behind. But can anyone stop Clarence Ema this season? And I believe Luero being switched out to the right. That's his second assist of the game so far, I think. Carney plays the ball forward. It's cut out by the Kings Langley defender, who goes back to the goalkeeper, who goes long. Cut out by Scott. Just couldn't get hold of that ball up front. Kings Langley are playing very direct. It's flicked on. There's Jet Murphy. We highlighted him before the game. What an opening 13 minutes we've had so far. A little bit worried about Hopkins' position there. And Carney just didn't get tight enough to Tomlinson, allowed him to flick on. And yeah, Hopkins was all over the place there. I'd like to see a bit tighter marking from my centre backs there. Really, Carney didn't get close to Tomlinson, which allowed him the free header. Buchanan was nowhere near Murphy, and Hopkins was just looked like he had a little wander around his 6-yard box, giving Murphy a fairly easy finish there. That's a little bit worrying. Kings Langley go long again. And again, our defenders failed to win the header. It was the right back this time. Long ball forward again to Jet Murphy. Keeps the ball in well. Back to Park. Decent ball into the box. And there's Tomlinson. So that's the two danger men that we spoke about before the game. Jet Murphy, Sam Park. They've both had a hand in 2 goals here. And they've pegged it back to 2-2. It was a lovely ball from Park. Tomlinson just peels off the back of his man. I think that might have been Carney again. Got in between him and Berwick at right back. Who, as soon as I turn the cameras on, he's having a stinker, by the way. And he's made it 2-2. We've made it through to half-time, and stats-wise, there isn't a lot to separate the two sides. In fact, XG is pretty much the same. We've just had a couple more shots and a couple more on target than them, but that doesn't show in the scoreline. I'm a little bit worried about some of the average ratings that you're seeing here at half time. I think Finley Brennan's not having a great debut, but I think he would absolutely destroy him if we put him off at half time on his debut. Smythe needs to do a bit more to get into the game for me as well. And the midfield, Finney and Banks, not their best display of the season. We're not going to make changes just yet. We're going to try and affect things with a team talk. And we're going to say that keep going and we can win this. And we'll probably look at make some changes around the hour mark, I'd imagine. Here's Tomlinson down the left. Headed away by Buchanan. Brennan gets a little flick on. Here is Smythe. His ball goes straight to the Kings Langley left back, who sets up an attack down the left. Connolly, the left back, to Britton. Ball across the box. There's Park. Off. Buchanan clears it off the line. It came back off the crossbar. Came back over Scott. And Buchanan hacks that one clear. Okay, so we're at 55 minutes. I think I've seen enough from Brennan on his debut to maybe bring him off. Owusu is going to come on for him. We're also going to make a change in midfield. Finney is going to come off and Tarpey's going to come on. And then we're going to save a couple of subs for later on in the game. Looking at Berwick, looking at Smythe. I want to leave Smythe on the pitch as long as we can, really. Because he is a danger man, even though Ema's outscoring him at the moment. It's always worth having Smythe on the pitch. Here's Ema. Owusu, if he found him, he had plenty of space out wide. Kings Langley are very direct and very counter-attacking. Although they put a foot on the ball here and they're looking good. Tomlinson goes on his own and it's gone high. It's gone over. I thought he was going to try and slip in Murphy there, but he didn't. We're going to make our final couple of subs. Berwick's performance has improved. Banks hasn't. But what we can do is move Berwick into midfield. Bring on Whittle for Banks at right back. And I think we're just going to do a straight swap. Shields for Smythe up front. And see if that can kick some life into us here. Here's Scott with a throw on the left-hand side. About 12 minutes left to play. Here's Owusu into the box. Tarpey makes a rash tackle on Stevenson there, and I think that is going to be the end of his day. It was a tackle from behind. He tried to stop the counter-attack. And that means we're going to have to put Ema into midfield for this last, 12, 13 minutes. And the young man Shields is going to have to play up front on his own. This could now just be a case of just trying to see this game out a little bit. So out of possession, these boys are going to have to work a little bit harder for me out wide. And we'll go for a 4-4-1. Kings Langley goalkeeper has the ball in hand here. We haven't switched to defensive. We still want to try and nick this game if we can. They've gone long. Carney wins the header. Midfield was absolutely nowhere for that second ball. And Kings Langley are going to pump the ball forward into the box. And Murphy, he was offside, but you'd expect him, based on his form and the goals scored so far this season, to score that. Little bit of a let-off of him being offside. Kings Langley have a corner. Davis. Oh, I thought for a second that was dropping into the top corner. We are going to move to cautious. And I think under these circumstances, I would be fairly happy with a point here. We've got another highlight. 90 seconds left on the clock here. That's a great ball from Hopkins out to Owusu. He's got no one in the box yet. Holds the ball up well, though. Goes past his man, Kev Owusu, straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, that could have been our chance to nick something here. And that was the final chance of the game. Under the circumstances, that's probably not the worst point we're going to pick up. Dunstable, how did they get on? Did they draw? I think Dunstable drew 0-0 against Leverstock Green. So we're still 2 points behind Dunstable. We're still 3 points behind Kings Langley. Arlesey Town have crept up by the looks of it. And that has really tightened things up with us and Dunstable. All the top three dropping points. You're even looking down as far as 6th now. Could overtake us with another poor result. So, yeah, it's not a bad result in terms of keeping touch with Dunstable and Kings Langley. But it has just opened the door for those teams behind us a little bit. So after that last game, it's kind of cemented some concerns that I've had around a specific position, and that is Ryan Hopkins in goal. I just don't feel like he's performing as well as he has done last season. He was immense for us at times last season, and he hasn't quite reached those levels. He's been okay, but we're looking at trying to win this league, and I kind of feel like what was good enough to get us here to this point, Ryan Hopkins, isn't going to be good enough to get us to that next sort of milestone, which is getting out of this division. So as you can see, we've set up a recruitment focus. We're going to be asking our chairman / director of football, Guillaume Balaguer, to go out and find me some suggestions for a goalkeeper, and we'll bring you back if we decide to go with any of those suggestions and make an offer. Well, I kind of saw it coming, but James Tarpey has been handed further 2 games onto his 1-match ban, meaning that he's going to be out suspended for the next 3 games. He's not starting, so it's not too much of an issue. But Quinlan's going to come onto the bench to replace Tarpey. We're going to stick with Finley Brennan on the left. He didn't have an impressive debut, but it's probably tough circumstances to come into a game against a side at the top of the league. So we're gonna trust him for another game. The back four we're going to keep the same. I don't think we're going to make any changes to this starting lineup, to be fair, because we went 2 ahead fairly quickly against Kings Langley. We're playing AFC Welling, who are currently mid-table. They are still sniffing around the playoff places, though. And we're going to see if we can just maybe see out this game a bit better, try and manage the game a bit better if we go ahead this time. We're going to tell the boys that we owe AFC Welling after what happened in our last match, which was them beating us in the FA Vars. Go out there and get revenge. That's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like we've got a bit of unfinished business here. It was a late goal from I think it's their captain, their number 9 up front, Micah Smith, to put us out of the FA Vars. So it was a tight game. We probably didn't deserve too much more. But let's see if we can get a bit of an improvement from the boys for this one here. We've got an early corner. Liam Banks is going to take it. It's punched away by the goalkeeper, Finley Brennan. Ooh, we wanted a better performance after his debut, and he nearly snuck that one in from some distance. It just bounced past the post. Decent strike from him. Must have been 25 yards out. It's an AFC Welling corner now. Brogan's taking this one. Again left-footed, puts it into the box. Kenton Buchanan gets a head on it. Oh, and Finley Brennan. His tumultuous start to life at Biggleswade United is continuing here. He's going to be credited with an own goal. Buchanan gets the header away. It goes as far as Aitkins, who eventually has a shot. And I think that was going wide. I think he probably could have left it. He did have a man behind him, so he probably felt the need to try and get something on it. And he's guided it, rather than out of play for a corner, he's guided it past Hopkins and into the bottom corner of the goal. And bless him, he's having a tough time at the moment. 2 games in, he's had a stinker in his first one, and after 15 minutes he scored a goal, and he scored an own goal in his second. We've just demanded more from the players because although we haven't seen many highlights, stats are saying that we're on top. Finney puts the ball forward to Smythe. Oh, and Clarence Emer gets on the end of a deflected cross. Was the cross deflected? Were my eyes deceiving me there? Yeah, the goalkeeper's parried it, and Emer has beat the defender on the line and smashed that one home to make it 1-1. I was just saying we're on top stats-wise, and I kind of feel like we deserve to get back into the game. Although there is another highlight here. Brogan, who was heavily involved with that first AFC winning goal, plays a short free kick to Wilkinson, slides in Daniel McGee, who slots past Hopkins in a fairly well-worked set-piece routine that we just didn't deal with at all here. Brogan looked like he was shaping up to shoot. And there were 2 men unmarked who combined Wilkinson and McGee to find the back of the net. This is a fairly underwhelming half of football from Biggleswade United here. The 2 strikers seem to be doing okay. And then after that, Finney's having a decent game, Buchanan's having a decent game. Everybody else needs to step it up a little bit. I think we're going to have to let them know that at half-time as well. So at half-time, looking at some of the other scores, Kings Langley are drawing with Wormley and Dunstable are drawing with Potton. So they're the 2 teams that are above us. But Risborough are winning. And we are currently, if it stays the same, dropping down to 5th. 4 points behind Kings Langley. So I think we need to go fairly hard in the team talk here. Show a bit of desire. I think we're going to go show me something else. Brogan again with a corner for AFC Welling. And it's a penalty. Finley Brennan has given away a penalty. Is this new signing a bit of a liability here? Brogan, who's been very heavily involved, smashes the penalty home. I said we were going to see some subs fairly early. Brennan is going to be the first one. He's getting hooked again here. I mean, he looks like a good player. For this level, he looks like a good player. He's just not having a great time. Decision making is okay. Concentration, anticipation's a bit low, to be fair. Is that what's causing him to make all these rash decisions, like giving away penalties and scoring own goals? He hasn't even played 2 games of football for us. And he's definitely turned into the villain of the piece. Banks is coming off as well. I think I've seen enough from him. We're going to get the youngster out there, Quinlan. And I think, should we do a triple change? It's probably not going to hurt us at this stage, is it? Zach Whittle can come on at right back as well. Here we go. Zach Whittle throwing on the right-hand side. Ball into the box. Owusu's at the back stick and he scores. He's made it 3-2. Kevin Owusu, who is not the tallest on the pitch by any means. We're not going to see a replay. We're going straight into another highlight from kickoff here. Luero crosses and Emer nearly scores and the ball's still in play. Zach Whittle wins the header. I don't know why we didn't see a replay. It's saying the goal still stands. And now we're seeing a replay. I don't know if there's been a recent update to Football Manager, but I'm starting to see some weird glitches like this. And in the last episode, it flashed up that we scored before we had scored, then we scored in the next highlight. Little things like that. And now we're seeing this highlight again, where Luero is going to cross it to Emer. What is going on? Sports Interactive, come on. Come on. I don't want to get into moaning about the game, but we shouldn't be seeing this far into a game release, should we really? Let's be honest. But it is 3-2. We have seen the replay. We've seen a highlight twice. I think it's probably best that we just move on from that. Whittle gives the ball away very cheaply. Cannon wins it back though. Finney gets it forward to Ema, who has got the goal in front of him, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper. We're starting to turn the screw a little bit. Quinlan's going to take this. Owusu picks up the clearance. Back out to Quinlan. They're appealing for offside, and the linesman has given an offside. I'm going to demand more here. So subs-wise, we do have another striker to bring on. And I think Luero is the obvious candidate to come off. And we're going to bring on Shields. And we're going to try and do something maybe a little bit like this in possession. And get Scott and Whittle a little bit higher up the pitch. Then out of possession, Shields can go over to the right, Owusu over to the left. So in possession, we go a little bit more attacking with the three strikers in there. I think we should probably play Shields as a centre forward. Maybe put Ema as more of a target, as we're trying to get a load of crosses into the box. Scott and Whittle can push up. Maybe we want Quinlan just to, I don't know, just to sit and a little bit more. We probably don't want him to be making as many of those forward runs. We got a corner. Quinlan's taking it. It's going to be an in-swinger this time. Shields. Oh, it looked like he tried to lob the goalkeeper from the edge of the box with a little clipped effort. It's just over the bar. Brogan's got another set piece opportunity here. We've seen how dangerous his left foot is. The ball is cleared. Scott gets on the end of it. Gets it up to Finney. Ema's busting a gut to get there. And he does get there. That was a good counter-attacking move there. Finney does very well just to hold his run. Let Ema catch up. And Ema, how many times have we seen him from that distance tucking the ball into the back of the net? Part of me thinks we should maybe go back to our previous shape. Part of me thinks keep it the same and see if we can nick another one here. AFC Welling look like they're playing a little bit higher up the pitch too. They might catch us out, is what I'm thinking. Oh, it's a howler. Oh, it's an absolute howler. And it's been ruled out. Hopkins has had his blushes saved there. The guy must have been offside. This is why I'm saying I think we need a new goalkeeper. That would have been 2 mistakes in 2 games costing us goals. We've got the draw. It's another draw. I don't think that does much for us in the league. No, we dropped down to 6th. 4 points off of Dunstable, who must have won that game. They did. They beat Potsdam 1-0. Wormley Rovers beat Kings Langley. So we're going into this next episode in 6th place. I think it's a bit early in the season to be calling that a bottle job, but that was definitely feeling like a missed opportunity to stamp some authority on this league. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do give us a like and give us a subscribe. And as always, please follow the club on the social media that is on the screen now. Hope you've enjoyed it. And until the next time, take care.